everybody, it's Christine. Time for scrapbook process video. And let me show you what I'm going to do, because this is actually all I had left of a scrap from Flavors of the Month. I don't remember which month, to be honest with you. But this is by Fancy Pants, called Memory Lane. And it's got this pretty floral and this little black and white. And then I had at one point cut off this little plaid from something. And I'm not going to swear this actually came in the kit. This might have been from Stash, but then I had this little craft color deal here. So that's what I have. And I'm going, okay, you don't have much of nothing, Christine. Well, I had come across this the other day. It's a Paper Issues. Let's see here. Janessa Franco had done this layout, which has just got these little torn bits. Now, granted, this particular Instagram is Kiki Scraps a Lot, and she had scrap lifted it, which both are just beautiful. And I was like, okay, I can use just some torn papers here. Now, I'm not going to be able to do an entire variety like this because she's got 6 different papers. And I've only got this one sheet. I could probably get technically 2 with this if I tear this really smartly. So I can maybe do 3. So I can maybe do 3 and 3 or whatever. And then I have this picture is a really old, this was at my house. Brooke was 2. This would have been probably 2000, I think. My mom will correct me if I've got it wrong. It's either 2000 or 2001. And this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4 generation picture. And then she's an aunt. And these 2 ladies have since passed. So this is a sweet little picture. So I thought this would be pretty with these colors too. So, and then I had no ephemera left, y'all. So I dug in and got a bunch of random stuff. I did find this title I think is going to be good, which is Family. And I'm kind of thinking maybe mostly this, which I think is a Jen Hadfield collection. I can't swear which one, but I have a bunch of that stuff. And then I pulled out a few more little random things. We'll see what I use. And so I'm going to try to use these papers up because I just got another scrap room in the mail here and I need to make some room. So let me get started. I'll be back on in a second. All right, gang. So I have cut my papers. Well, the 2 striped or the plaid ones I tore because they's already cut. And then I cut the other sheet into 1-inch strips, and then I've torn the bottom half of it, per the scrap lift there. And I'm really pleased with how this turns out. I think this looks really cute. Now, I do still have, at the end of this, a half a sheet of the pattern paper, but I put that in my scrap bin. Now, then I noticed on the scrap lift that she had torn out like a top and a bottom piece, and that kind of worked out because this little piece of cardstock must be really old, and it was faded on the bottom right down there anyway, so I actually was able to remove some of the little faded pieces. It must have been touching sunlight. I don't know how, but so I've got that, and then I had taken that little piece of brown or dark craft, I guess, cardstock, and I trimmed just the 2 little pieces so they'd be behind the little torn outs. Now, she had a different pattern paper, I think, behind hers, but I think this looks nice because I'm going to end up matting the photo in that same dark craft cardstock. So I'm just attaching these little guys back behind that. Just, a little tip, if you have ever seen that trick, obviously you do not have to use a full sheet of paper. You can just take little pieces and put it behind your little torn holes. So that looks kind of cute. I like that. I kind of tear it up and rough it up and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to end up using wet glue to glue these pieces of paper down because the little ends and things like that, I don't want them to, come up or whatever. So just to make sure they stay, I'm going to end up using wet glue to hold these down. Now, I'm just kind of organizing, make sure, which order and kind of how they're going to get spaced a little bit. I don't know if it stays that way, y'all, though. When you start doing things, you kind of move stuff around, all that kind of stuff. But here's where I'm making my little photo mat. The photo itself was printed, obviously, with a little white border, so that was nice. I didn't have to do a white cardstock on it. And this is just me cutting the little photo mat here. I like this. I didn't put it up on foam because I will end up putting embellishments on the top of it, so I couldn't really, I should say I couldn't. You can do whatever you want to, whatever, but I didn't really want to put it up on foam. So this is going to stay flat to the layout. So I'm just kind of getting this squared up. Now, on my embellishments, I ended up pretty much sticking with essentially that Jen Hadfield collection, and I used that little family title that I showed you, and then I used one other. It was a heart. It's kind of shiny. I don't know if I've showed it to you already or not. But it was kind of stuck to something in my scrap or my random embellishments bin there, and I thought, well, I'm going to use you. So I'm going to cut away though because I'm just going to start gluing these down kind of one by one, and that's kind of boring. So I'll cut away, and I'm at the bottom now. I'm just gluing that last little piece. That picture's not glued down yet. I was actually using it to kind of space out. I wanted to make sure that the bottom ended up on one of the stripes. It's kind of like a little shelf or whatever. And I wanted the top to kind of go just a hair above one so that it looked, again, like it's kind of on a shelf and not like bordered by them, if that makes sense. So here's where I'm kind of just looking to see. I'm looking to see where the family's going to go to. I'm going to use the wet glue on the family also. This turned into almost a full-on wet glue layout. Not intentionally, but it just kind of happened that way. I think this family looks really cute, though. That actually came from a 49 and Market set of chipboard titles. So, yeah, definitely a little mixture of collections here. But that looks really cute. Now I'm going to get into my little baggie here. I have a few pieces of ephemera. And there's some that have words on them. And I'm going to there's that little heart I mentioned to you. And I'm going to stick them in there where you can't read the words on some of these things. That one you can. She had a circular element up there, so that worked out nicely. That says enjoy today. This is a little piece here with the flowers on the right-hand side. I will use that. But the first couple things, I got this little butterfly that's got a gold foiling on it and that little plant. If you can kind of see in the picture, if I'm honest, there's tons of like little, they're all fake, y'all. I don't have a green thumb at all. But in the picture, you can see kind of a ton of fake plants. I don't know what I was thinking back in the day. I guess that's just the way it was. We used to have tons of fake plants, but you sure had to dust them things because, my goodness, plants get a whole lot of dust on them. I try a few other little pieces of ephemera, and I don't care for those. So this little guy here with the floral, I'm going to tuck it in where you can't read the words on it. The couple little old coffee cups, or maybe that's hot chocolate. I don't know. Maybe it's coffee. Those just look cute. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we drank coffee, but, well, the ladies might have. I'm not a coffee drinker, so the ladies might have, but... And then there's this little set of round stickers here. I'm going to end up pulling out the black and white ones and kind of creating a little visual triangle with the little black and white stickers. I'll use one that says create memories. I'll use one that says happy day and then one that says enjoy. And I kind of like that because that makes, like I said, a little visual triangle without being in your face, I guess, is what I would think. Here's where I'm like, oh, crap, Christine, you haven't glued anything down. So I got to glue that stuff down. I will put foam up underneath... the right-hand side little coffee cups. I'll put a little bit of foam up underneath that hanging plant. And I'll put foam underneath the butterfly wings. So it kind of lifts the little butterfly. What am I doing right here, y'all? I think I'm just gluing in stuff. Yeah, there's where I'm looking at that foam. I probably should have cut some of this out because it's kind of boring. But this is a short little video as it is because I was really proud of myself. I used all this paper and... I emptied a slot, y'all. One of these days I need to take a picture of what I'm talking about, but I have a slat wall on my wall over here, and there's these paper trays. Used to back in the day when you had scrapbook stores, you go in, and they had these 12 by 12 paper trays, and you could see all the little pieces of paper and all that. Well, I bought a whole bunch of those years ago when I had a store, and I brought them home, and I've got them on the wall, and I just use them to organize my papers that I'm working with. The sad part, that's kind of what I call in my mental space, I call that my active wall, my active papers. But then I have two other places where I keep papers. I have my Bow Bunny section over there, which I have got a little series generally of, well, y'all have probably seen it. It's like second Saturday. It's the Bow Bunny Stash Bash. I got so much Bow Bunny, that's going to take me years to get through. And then I have another wall where it has my papers that are kind of sorted. They're not with collections anymore. Maybe that's really the more proper way to put it. The stuff on my slat wall is my collections. And then the stuff in my other bin over here is just kind of my general papers that aren't really in collections. It's more like by theme or color or something. That's when I tend to go there for stash, right? When I'm looking for stash stuff like a cardstock or something like that. So here's where I'm wrapping up these little sticker pieces. And then I decide in just a minute, I don't actually put any mixed media. Y'all, if y'all hear noise, my cat is in the middle of something. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, there was two little puffy hearts. I was kind of sad there wasn't three because if there had been three, I would have put it in the clusters. But there was only two, and she kind of had some coming from top to bottom, so I just went ahead and took that approach where there's one on the top and one on the bottom. Use my little bit of Nuva glue to fix the end of that. And then this one, I realized I'm looking at the layout there. She's got a little journaling in the lower left. I mentioned in the beginning, I do not remember which year this was, if it was 2000 or 2001, so I've got to wait when Mom wakes up to get that level of detail. But I'm going to go ahead and draw the lines on here because I'll add that journaling once I get that information from her and have on the layout. But I don't do anything else. I thought about, mixed media or whatever, but I go, nope, I'm just going to leave it simple because that was the point. And that's all I'm going to do, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the Instagram at Scrapping Harden and all the fun stuff. And also don't forget to check out the two ladies I mentioned in the beginning. They have great Instagrams as well. And we will see you later. Bye.